you for staying with us. Now, Christ's Compassion to the Rural World, CCRW, is a non-denominational crusade and community outreach set to bring the gospel of Christ to rural communities in ways that are relevant, relatable, and practical.
I'm wondering, how is that different from what the missionaries came to do? Don't answer. Just
and this is more than a crusade. It's going to be a life-transforming event, which is set to be the biggest evangelistic outreach ever in Africa. Similar in concept to Christ feeding the over 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish or fishes. Depends. You're looking at it was the same kind of fish, then it's 2 fish.
What if it's salmon and kote?
Then it's 2 fishes. Never mind us. It's a 1-week-long outreach, and this is the maiden event, and it will hold at the Ikorodu Stadium. A 30,000 to about 50,000 capacity stadium from the 6th to the 11th of November.
Wow.
And guess who is behind all of this? Somebody that you all know very well, even though he abandoned us for a while, but he's back now. Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good
He's too busy playing golf now. He doesn't have time for coming on television.
I do more gymming and less golf.
So, Pastor.
Yes.
In November, this is happening in Ikorodu Stadium.
Yes, please.
And you say it's not just a crusade. So what is it?
Well, if I may give a parenthetical picture of what led to this. I was speaking with some people in Ghana, and every time I speak for them on a yearly basis, they put in a video of what they do in the rurals. I wouldn't even watch. I'd just be busy eating. But one particular year, I took the time to look, and I saw something I had never seen. Something latent at the back of my mind. I'd always thought this should be the approach to the African person. These guys, in fact, many people have not even heard their name, twin brothers, and I'd been doing it for 30 years. They hold major meetings in rurals. During the daytime, they would distribute relief to people. I mean, in the hinterlands, you cannot tell the level of poverty. As a result of that video, I followed them for 8 years.
This is what is called palliative. In the real sense of the word.
Yeah, I followed them for 8 years. I'll leave London, follow them to the smallest villages of Ghana, Bolgatanga, Tamale, Sunyani, wherever. In fact, my friends in the city will wonder, why would you leave London to come and stay in hotels that had no star? But I was studying these guys for 8 years. Now, if you remember from my programs on television, I do something for widows. But this was something bigger. This was something beyond just doing something for widows. I studied them for 8 years. I felt this is possible, and then began to pray that I wanted to do it in Nigeria. Well, I felt in this next chapter of my life, I was going to call it the last chapter. I don't think it is the last chapter. In this next chapter of my life, I felt this is something that would touch more people despite my age. And that is what led to this. In fact, the Ghanaian guys began to say, when is Nigeria? And I said, Nigeria is not like Ghana. The whole of your population is not up to Lagos.
Yeah.
So one day on the balcony of my home in Lekki, while I was praying, God, where do I go? I don't want to go back to my hometown and do it like I did the widows in my hometown. I need direction. I know I need where to go, because it's going to be once or twice a year. And I heard very clearly in my spirit that I should go back and I should look to my right. From my balcony, Ikorodu is 12 minutes by boat.
Whoa.
From my balcony. And I felt God wanted me to go. Then I remembered, that's where I went to seminary 49 years ago. And that's how the journey began. And yes.
So what have the preparations been like, and for how long have you prepared for this?
my conviction have always been that I have a split brain. One half of it is ministry, the other half is business.
Are you bipolar somehow?
A nice one. Nice one. Dual personality. Frankenstein, the Dr. Frankenstein. And one part of me is very ministry, but there's a part of me that I could sell this white paper to a white man and he would like it white. And I felt if God blessed me in my business, I'll use it to serve God. And both now came together. So that was the preparation. God began to make it happen. And so Ikorodu Igbogbo will experience 5 things from 6th to the 11th of November. And we're not talking, neither are we hyping. It is based on conviction and leading. The first of the 5 is that after I went to see the 2 kings. I went to see the king of Ikorodu, very receptive. Actually, I went with 14 of my team members. He had 200 chiefs ready.
Whoa.
Then I went to see the king of Igbogbo. He also had 160 chiefs ready.
Wow.
I went to see His Excellency, the governor of Lagos State, presented the vision so that we can use the stadium and we can take over Ikorodu General Hospital. So first of the 5, from Monday the 6th, 8 a.m., doctors will carry out for 5 days 200 to 300 surgeries at the expense of CCRW. We will build, the hospital told us their own theater is already busy, that their hands are full. So we will build a makeshift temporary theater. They're approved by the Department of Health for Lagos State. Matter of fact, the governor put together a high-powered team to work with us. Wow. So that whatever we were doing was not discouraged because it came in the cloud of religion, but because this blesses the people. Yeah. So we'll be carrying out 200 to 300 surgeries.
Different types.
Different types, but the ones that can go home same day.
Okay.
The more intense ones, unfortunately, because the hospital is too full at the moment, they will not be. They only want the ones that can be outpatients from day one. So there'll be 200 to 300 surgeries taking. So anyone who goes there under our auspices will be operated upon, and we're targeting 200 to 300 in those days. And in order for this to happen, from Monday, 2 days' time, for 10 days, doctors under the auspices of CCRW will be checking people and picking, obviously. Ikorodu and the environment being 1.1 million people, there are 300 is like
a drop in the ocean.
Yes. So phase 2 of what we'll be doing is that from Monday night, there'll be this night crusades. We believe in God's power to heal, to deliver, to set free, to do the miraculous. That's phase 2. Phase 3 of what we'll be doing while on ground, that's the one that hits people so big. From Tuesday morning, we'll be distributing 50,000 packets of rice, 50,000 packets of beans, 50,000 packets.
These on the screen?
Yes, please. And those are actually our warehouse.
Wow.
It's already ready, so it's not like we're talking about it.
Did you say packets?
Yeah, we'll be packing the rice into 1 kilo. That's why I said packets.
Okay.
So we bought 1,000 bags of rice and we're packing it in packets of 1 kilo. Wow. We bought 1,000 bags of beans. We pack it in 1 kilo. 1,000 bags of gari, 1 kilo. 10,000 bottles of oil. 30,000 bars of soap. 10,000 buckets, particularly for the old women and the mothers. The young men will just give them nylon to put water with.
And they'll find their way.
Yes. 10,000 packets of sugar, 10,000 packets of salt, 24,000 exercise books for kids, and 75,000 clothes. Matter of fact, 15,000 cloths, as in brand new Ankara, which we went and bought out of the 75. This is for the ladies also. The remaining will reach all gender, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone will get. On top of that, there are many other items I didn't remember, but from Tuesday morning to Friday morning, we'll be doing it 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So that's the third of the fourth of the five things we're doing. The fourth thing we're doing, there are pastors in the area, thousands of them, who need empowerment. I've had the privilege of traveling around the world, so I'll bring some of my friends to hold seminar in the hall of my alma mater, my seminary. The whole 2-day seminar, at the end of which I will personally bless those pastors with 2,000 Bibles that I published. It's a Bible published between me and Cambridge University Press. Wow. And I also give them 5,000 of my books. Then there are 150 villages of Ikorodu, apart from the towns. We'll be giving public address system to 150 evangelists to go back to those villages. But the final, number 5, is the biggest of all. On the Saturday, Ikorodu Igboje Stadium will be converted to a medical center / hospital. We're lining up 100 doctors, 100 pharmacists, about 50 pharmacy technologists or pharmacy technicians, nurses, optometrists, etc., etc. We have medicines to the value of about 70 million naira, which will be given. So all that will happen is you come in early, you get a medical card, you're examined, you need a further check, there'll be a place for further check, you need glasses. We already have 5,000 glasses on ground to give you. You need medicine. All the medicines are lined up, and it's just all kinds of issues. Then 10,000 children will be dewormed, along with, we sometimes don't realize that people just live with what they don't have the money to cure. You know, the Yorubas will say, oh, what do you see? You know, they just don't have the money. We experienced this when we went to Zimbabwe and did it in a microcosm, when we took drugs worth $50,000 to Zimbabwe and set out. One woman who was given high blood pressure drugs, hypertensive drugs, it was, I think, the highest. And when they gave her, it's more than her 3-month salary, she just thought, I'll wait for whatever will kill me.
Oh, God.
And then we came and gave her, she said, are you people human beings or angels? So
Pastor, you actually went to Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
When your country needs you. The poverty in your country is unrivaled.
I know, but you see, now I'm back home. Forgive.
Well, welcome. Welcome.
By the way, that is personal. Don't.
Oh yeah. You know, we have a way of bantering.
That's why I said let them not take it to heart. You know, but it's interesting, Pastor Ashimolowo.
Yes, sir.
You've been in ministry for 49 years,
yes,
as you said.
Yes.
In all of these plans, I'll just say it, very minimally have you mentioned preaching. Not because it's not important. Very minimally have you mentioned preaching, impartation, and all those things.
Yes.
Why?
One of the reasons is because, with all due respect to myself, to the whole of the body of Christ, there is a lot of emphasis on the preacher, and people need to see the compassion of Christ. They need to truly see that there is love. Actually, this whole thing is premised on Acts 10:38, which says how God anointed Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who went about preaching the sick, healing the sick, and doing good. The Greek word for doing good actually is a word that suggests doing charitable work, giving gifts, and helping people in their immediate need. I think, and I have a right to say my opinion at 71 plus and 49 years of preaching, I think the church missed some part of this. I think we missed out on the charitable part.
How did the church miss out on that, given what is in Matthew 25?
I think the church missed out in the sense that it did not create a pendulum situation. In my opinion, there should be a pendulum of principles and power. While you are showing power in your preaching, there should be the principle of compassion. So principle and power. Giving them something, also ministering to them. I mean, there is no reason, if you look at it from the natural point of view, why the crowd at the end of Jesus' teaching, why he will say, these people are hungry. Boys, let's look for food for these guys. It is actually because he was sacrosanct to his ministry. And I think that's a part we have missed. This is what I want to do for the rest of my ministry. I want to take this kind of compassion ministry to rurals. And now we're using Ikorodu, while really we're also targeting 151 villages attached to it. Reason is, I have 200 people coming from Paris, from all over the world, from London. And I can't take them to those villages to stay in. They will at least stay in the hotels in Ikorodu, even if they are only 1 star. At least they have a star, you know. So, yes.
You mentioned just now that you are 71 plus. One would have thought that at 71 plus you'd be slowing down a bit, but it doesn't look like it.
I have the strength, I have the conviction to do it, I have the compassion to do it. I am gingered by the need I see in my country. I've known Nigeria, I've seen all the governments. I was 8 years old when Nigeria gained independence. And so I know that whatever we do, in fact, all this we have described is like a drop in an ocean compared to the need in Ikorodu. I didn't even know the
need in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, I didn't even know the population had exploded since I left until I did my research. When I left Ikorodu, there were 84,000 people.
So
now
that's probably just one family.
Yeah. Now it's 1.1 million people. So the vision is not just to give people palliative, but also to show them the love of Christ. And above all, to really let them know that we're here to make them experience the supernatural, but nonetheless, not all men have faith. So if you didn't get your miracles at night, you didn't get the healing, we have a medical program on Saturday morning for everyone.
Pastor, this is a huge project.
Yes.
How are you financing this?
This $1 million question has come up everywhere. I've shared it with people.
It should. First of all, the logistics of research.
Yes.
I know how costly that must have been.
Yes.
At least I have a faint idea.
Yes.
And then you already loaded your warehouses.
We're actually ready. All things are ready.
So
1 month before.
Yes.
All of that is already
Everything's
done.
ready.
All of that money is already spent. You're flying 200 people into the country.
Yes, yes.
So yes, how are you financing?
Well, honestly,
God will provide.
this kind of approach is really very unique and peculiar. It's going to cost between 300 and 500 million, and not counting the cost of my public address system. I had to, because I'm really committed to this, I felt this is something I should do. I had to buy equipment from China worth $500,000 so that I didn't have to rent, and my equipment would be adequate to handle any stadium. However, when it comes to the things we are giving, 60% of it comes from me, from my business, while I now put it open to all those who, there are people who are on my prayer platform. I do this prayer every morning from Monday to Friday, and people do come on the platform from 50 nations. You will be amazed. People have given, even if it is £1 or £5 or £10 from Australia, from all over the world. The majority of the expense, and I didn't, is going to be this big. The majority of it has been from me. I mean, just the medicals, the surgery, and the Saturday is going to cost about $120,000. $120,000, just the medicals. But we're committed to it, and I believe it is something to be done. So 60% comes from me.
Let me read this next question. How frequently? How frequently? Yes. What will be the frequency of this crusade and outreach?
We have staff. We had to hire a full-time COO to manage this. We interviewed people. I wanted it to be very well done. The dream, the vision is to do this 2 times a year, considering the enormity of the need and challenges on the ground, and also the need to touch lives. But from this first one, I think next year it will be June and December, or just one, but I don't know yet.
How will you then choose the other locations?
Awesome. How God spoke to me about Ikorodu, He will speak to me again about the next one. It could be in Kalagu, it could be Kauranamoda, it could be, let me come close to her, it could be Efono.
Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, President and Visionary of Christ's Compassion to the Rural World, CCRW, about the huge crusade that's happening in Ikorodu/Igbobo Stadium in November, next month, from the 6th to the 11th of November.
May I just interject one little thing?
Yes.
From Monday, for 10 days, anyone in the Ikorodu area who needs this surgery will have to go to Ikorodu General Hospital and ask for the CCRW area where they are actually doing the pre-surgery checks.
Yes.
So for 10 days, doctors whom we have paid and medical people whom we've already paid will be there for 10 days checking people and getting their details and getting them ready for the surgery.
Prepping them for the surgery.
Yes.
So
Thank you very much, Pastor.
Thank you very much.
All I can say to you now is that for this huge deed that you are doing for the people of Nigeria,
God bless you.
the Lord will bless you abundantly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bless us.
Sunrise will be right back with the home stretch. Do join us.